My name is Igal, and you're watching Small Business Big Leaders.
Join us as we find, follow, and feature courageous, committed, and culture-oriented business leaders on Small Business Big Leaders.
On this episode of Small Business Big Leaders, we're highlighting Dr. Matt Hubbard and his business, Chiropractic.
Hi, welcome to Chiropractic.
Dr. Matt, thanks for having us here.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure having you on Small Business Big Leaders. So let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
How long ago did you start Chiropractic and why?
Oh, wow. From the very beginning.
Yeah, let's go back.
Well, you know, I started True Chiropractic when it wasn't True Chiropractic. It was actually called Convoy Village Chiropractic because I was in this little center right on Convoy Street, and I was in a 1,200 square foot little building that we had to replace the carpet every 3 months.
Wow.
And I think my first realization was looking at my carpet bill in 1 year from the people wearing it out, and I said, that's it, I'm tiling it. And I tiled my office. And then once I realized I wore out tile, which I thought was impossible, I said, that's it. I'm changing the name and I'm getting a bigger practice. Mm-hmm. So that is how we moved across the parking lot, changed our name to True Chiropractic, and it's, you know, been on fire ever since.
Awesome. So why chiropractic?
Yeah, that's a great question. Why chiropractic? I actually never thought I'd be a chiropractor. I thought I would be a race car driver.
Okay.
And that didn't pan out. And it should have. I don't know why. I think I'm going to go back and find that dream again.
It's never too late.
Yeah, exactly. It's never too late. What happened was my brother had, at 16 years old, had a radical experience with the chiropractor. Had 3 adjustments because I was wrestling him, kind of tweaked him, and ran down the street to our neighbor, said, you have to take care of my brother. I literally paid my brother $20 to shut his mouth so I wouldn't get in trouble. I'm trying to think. Within 30 days, never had asthma again.
Wow.
And and my best friend at the time said, oh, that's because my dad adjusted you. And I said, there's no way, because your dad adjusted my brother. My brother doesn't have asthma anymore. So I went down and met Dr. Call, that's who it was, and started quizzing him. Blew my mind. And I said, that's it, I'm gonna look into it. So I was just going off to college, kind of a rebel at the time, and I went to this college and I said something to the kinesiology department that I was thinking about chiropractic, and they're like, no one from this school goes to chiropractic college. And I said, that's it, a little rebel in me. I named my kid Maverick, so I mean, just going full throttle here. I said, that's it, I'm going for sure now. So if I started with like 80% certainty, the first week in class, I knew I was 150% supposed to be a chiropractor. Haven't looked back since, never a dull moment. It's not even actually a job to me. Just like I wake up with a passion and we say go and serve a lot of people.
That's awesome. So I know that I've been here before, you have a lot of clients, and you guys are always motivated. Everyone's really, really happy in here. What do you attribute that to?
You know, when you sell crack for a living, no, I'm just joking. That's so bad. You know what it is we do say, and we believe it, that we're a hope dealership.
Okay.
So people are going to come in whether they're hurting and pain or they want the wellness lifestyle. We're the first person they come in our doors. We better have a smile on our face, be that light in the world, because it's kind of crazy, chaotic out there. So we really call ourselves a hope dealership, and we're dealing some serious hope. And so we take it as serious as a heart attack and plant those seeds. And if the worst negative person came in, it would take us literally 3 weeks to crack them. That's my longest.
Nice.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Don't challenge that. But we like the happy, loving people. Healing happens more. But that's kind of what we do, man. And everyone, when I hire, I have a philosophy. If I go to Starbucks, not that I go to a tanning salon, but I have. If I go to a CrossFit gym and I see someone like with a vibrational tone that feels alive, I offer them a job on the spot. Because I can train anybody on a computer. I can train anybody's systems, but you know what I realized? You can't train people to love people.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
like an innate thing.
Yeah.
So I find the innate people that love people, and I hire them on the spot or beg them to come work for me, and they usually do.
All right, so let's talk about your team. You're a leader. How many employees do you have?
8.
8 employees. So what do you do to create such a great culture in here? Because when you walk in, everyone's smiling, everyone's happy, everyone's here to serve, and you kind of hit up on it a little bit. You know, they have to want to love people. They have that innate way of caring about others.
Yeah.
So what do you do as a leader to make sure that continues or that grows?
Oh, man. Well, it's like when I met you, I wanted to hire you, but you told me your payroll, and I was like, wow, let me
Sorry.
and a couple more clinics.
You never know.
But when people carry joy, it's reproducible. And I've always studied, biophysics and quantum physics, and you can look that everything vibrates on a frequency. And when you vibrate at a high frequency, you actually heal. So it's not a joke. I tell my whole team, when people pull in that parking lot, I want them to start feeling a difference. It's like a so when people walk in the door, sometimes they go, you know what, I'm already feeling better. If I don't get that once a week, then I know we're not on purpose. Okay. So the whole point is just I train about purpose, and when our team's on purpose, we will create a healing environment where I don't have to do much work over on the tables. They're already healing sitting here. When they walk in, they check in. They're already on a vibrational tone to heal. Then they get excited. They bring back dreams. They come alive. They want to go back. And that's where you start to see the shift in people's lives. So it's easy to train people that love people, and then you just give them a little purpose. And then it's like 10x is the whole thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
And you're always out here. I mean, there's a lot of times that business owners are in the office, hiding. They're like hermits.
Oh, yeah.
They come out, they start screaming. They're not happy with everybody. But you're out here adjusting, talking to people, motivating people every single time I'm in here that I've seen. So what keeps you motivated?
Oh, yeah. It's a discipline of the mind. I'm grateful. So attitude of gratitude. It's hard to get in that negative space. I've learned from people that are on fire selling mattresses. They're like, their purpose is for you to have the most incredible sleep you've ever had.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna sleep, you're gonna wake up refreshed, you're gonna treat your wife better, you're gonna treat your kids. I'm like, over a mattress? Yeah. So, if they can get on purpose over a mattress, I better get on purpose about realigning someone for their purpose. So it's easy to get juiced in the morning, but I've always been on, if I'm alive, then that means I have unfulfilled destiny. So if I wake up, that means I got another day to do something big, and I have that attitude, and I expect everybody around me to have that attitude, because if they just want to punch a clock, they can go punch a clock anywhere. Yeah. It's about, man, you got one more day on this planet to make an impact. Let's do it. Let's see how many people today we can move, touch, and inspire.
Awesome.
That's it.
Being a business owner, there's always ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about a time where you had, a down and what you did to get through it and overcome it.
A time?
Yeah.
A time that I had. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I think that, so I watch you work out, man. I'm totally inspired by it. Here's the truth. Every time you go have a hard workout, it sucks in the moment.
Yes.
But you're a bigger, better, stronger person afterwards. Business, especially in entrepreneurial business, when you have the hunger to be an entrepreneur, you want resistance. You want a challenge. So I wake up and I'll embrace a challenge, and it doesn't frustrate me. It doesn't upset me. It kind of drives me to think, I got to be a better leader. I got to be a better person. Frustrations always happen, and you just have to know that comes with it. But how do I overcome it? How do I have an upset with maybe one of my team members? How do I build them up instead of tear them down? And even if I have to correct them, how do I correct them in love so they become better, not bitter?
How do you do that?
How do I do that? I just speak life.
Awesome.
I speak life over a situation. I said, hey, this is where it went wrong. A lot of people have confrontation issues.
Yes.
I love it, but I call it carefrontation.
Okay.
So I just go in knowing, they know I care about them. Every one of my employees is not just a person. I care about them. I want to see them successful, own homes, have great epic relationships. I want them to own cars free and clear. I want everybody, they might just think, oh, I just want to be a receptionist at your office. No. You're going to be a world changer. We're going to get your finances right. We're going to get you out of debt. We're going to see you thriving in every area, and they do.
So would you say it's caring about them?
Yeah.
That makes you
totally
a better leader and be able to deal with that confrontation? Or the carefrontation?
Carefrontation, because all growth happens outside the comfort zone. So if they mess up, which inevitably, if we're running with the wheels falling off the thing almost, and you got to tighten the ship every few weeks, you have to correct and readjust. People who can receive correction will always grow. People that can't receive correction will fold like a deck chair, and you don't want them.
Nice. I love that. And so that's how you know if they fit here or not.
Yep.
Right.
They can receive correction because I'm trying to make them better. I'm trying to make our office better, and the whole thing, it's not about me. I need them to see the why behind it, and so I try to teach the why. Without the why, there's no comply. So if I can give them the why behind what we do on every level, like here's a great example. We just didn't hit our first quarter goals for the first time in a long time. And instead of just going, oh, you suck, we don't. We played at a level 10. But in order to hit these goals that we were going after, we needed a level 12. So they always show up in excellence. But what did we do extra to go the extra mile? And there were some things that we were lacking in that we had self-revelation on, and that we held up a mirror, we took ownership of it, self-responsibility of it, and I guarantee we'll crush our next goal. Crush it, because now we had the aha moment of why we didn't. But it was a learning moment.
So let's talk about that. Somebody online wanted me to ask you about how you goal set. And when they said that, I was like, oh my God, this is a master goal setter right here. I took a course that you gave on goal setting. You wrote a book on goal setting, and you do it so meticulously.
Yeah.
Why is it so important to you?
You know, what you focus on expands. So I've never met anyone that said, I'm going to Hawaii, and showed up at the airport without a ticket, without a place. I mean, I'm sure there's people that do.
Yeah.
But when you go on a family vacation, you got kids, it's important you have everything in order, hotel, car, you know, you're going for 7 days, you know, where maybe you'll just decide when you get to Hawaii where you're gonna eat, but you have it pretty much dialed in.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that for life? So I just learned a long time ago from some mentors of mine, the more what you focus on expands, the more detailed you get around it, the more it will happen. You know, it's not a wish, it's not a dream that I think of, no, it's a thought that becomes a dream, which I write it down, which becomes a reality. And the faster I can focus on the details of it, the more the world will conspire for you to make it happen.
And I talked about family and the family trip, and I thought about all that planning, and you're so right. Now let's talk about family.
Oh yeah.
You're a busy man, right? You
Well,
were the president of your association.
Define busy.
Right, you were the president of the association. You're a business owner. You're a coach. You run a mastermind. You're in masterminds. Yet you have time to be such a great father, husband, and a leader. How do you balance everything, or the balancing act? How do you do it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's no such thing as balance as the world defines it. But in my life, there's balance, and I think this is a real thing. If you hang out with me day to day, you're gonna be like, oh, that guy's not balanced. But if you hang out with me from 50,000 feet, I have total clarity and balance in my life. So when you look at my year, I'm in balance. Yeah. When you look at my day, I'm not, because there's no such thing as balance. Homeostasis, if you look at homeostasis of how the body runs, it's up and down, always changing, always changing, always changing. The only time you'll see a flat line is when you're dead. So in life, if we work in that same parameter, some people can go a month at a time, some people 3 months at a time. I'm a year to 3 years kind of guy, and I work like this. So my first quarter, my wife knows, it's head down, tail up, here we go. And I crush goals. Quarter two, family. Trips, I leave for Australia literally in 3 hours. We celebrate wins. We get in gratitude about how first quarter went. Second quarter, enjoy life. Third quarter, head down, tail up, don't talk. I'm disciplined. Yeah. I have my daily routine, my morning routine. I do not vary, and it gets intense again. Fourth quarter, it's right around Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, you know, the holidays. Fourth quarter, I'm as relaxed. Most people, you know, take a day off, do whatever I want. So if you look at that thing over a year, there's seasons. There's summer and winter. There's harvest and planting. So why does everyone have seasons? But you know what most Americans do? Grind it, 10x, let's do this,
all
let's
the time.
do this. And then you know what they do? Fall flat.
Yeah.
Because they've never paced it. So I go on seasons. Yeah. So hey, if it's good for the farmer, it should be good for me. If it's good for winter and summer, you know, day and night, everything has a rhythm to it. So I'm big into rhythms and flow. If you look at my week, it's a massive rhythm. So in my life, people go, oh, he's so busy. No, I'm in a sweet rhythm.
Yeah. You kind of pinpointed about morning ritual. Let's talk about that quickly. What do you do in the morning that makes you get up, go, and be energized the whole day to take on everything that you do and do it well?
Yeah. It's really good. So I went through, you know, Mark Divine, I read his book called Unbeatable Minds, and I went through SEAL Fit, and I just love it. My brother's in the Navy. I can't really talk about what he does, but everything is a mindset. Yeah. And so I just said, you know what? If they can do it, why can't I do it? If anyone's ever done it before me, why can't I do it? So I just, Monday and Wednesdays and Fridays, up really early. I'm in my sauna, meditate, pray, write down everything. I have a 5-minute journal that I do every morning, every night, and just getting into gratitude. I go through my morning questions, my evening questions, and some power questions, and I just answer them to myself and get to a place. And then I never check emails first thing in the morning. Never, because I don't want to. I don't check them last thing at night. I'll pick about midday, because the minute you read emails in the morning, you start reacting to them.
So let's pause there, because I think that's great. A lot of people, before they go to bed, check their phone.
Oh.
Right when they wake up, checking their phone.
Yeah.
And you're saying that after mid-morning, you don't check your email, and in the morning, you don't check your email.
No.
One, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Right? And why do you do that? So
Yeah.
let's talk about that.
Well, you know, Simon Sinek, if you look at any of Simon Sinek videos, he talks about the addiction of social media.
Yeah.
Same thing with email. It releases a dopamine in your brain, and you get addicted to reading your emails. But what they do is it makes you more a reactionary person. Instead, I plan my day doesn't plan me. And so, you know, I have my marriage agenda on Tuesday mornings at 8:30. So my wife and I meet for coffee. We go through a whole agenda. I'll make a business meeting with you. I'll meet it with an attorney. I'll meet it with all these other. Why won't I meet with my wife? We got to talk about the business of life.
Yeah.
And then once a quarter, we have our quarterly agenda where we go to do a staycation. We get a hotel. We enjoy the night. We wake up at 7 a.m., get a coffee and breakfast, and then we go hardcore from 8 to noon and plan our whole next quarter together.
Wow.
And we talk about
Incredible.
the past quarter and then set the new one. So it's just, I have agendas, and I stick to them.
So you're not just planning your business, but you're planning your life with your wife.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the secrets to success that you have, is that you hold that so dear to you.
Yeah.
Is your family life, your kids.
Yeah.
Why is that so important?
I'm not going to be a statistic on divorce rate, and I'm not going to, I want my kids to see what an epic life looks like. A lot of people talk about it. I don't actually talk about it. I be about it.
Yeah.
People come hang out, they get to see it. People know that Thursday night's my date night. I don't have even people call and bug me anymore. They just know, do not ask, I'm not going to change it.
Yeah.
Everybody's busy, everything comes up. There's only one concert, there's only one show. No, it's date night. And then my Tuesday morning coffee break agenda, it's just people don't even call me Tuesday morning anymore. They know. It's
I'll not
coffee
to
with my-
text or call you anymore, those.
Oh, you can do it. You can do it. I'll just answer you later. But you know, it's like, we take business serious.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
we are drivers. We are driven. We want to add value to people's lives. That was loud. We want to add value to people's lives, but here's the truth. If you don't have a successful marriage, what are we really adding value to? If you just kill it all the time in business to lose your marriage, you're not successful, in my opinion. My opinion is watching my kids see me kiss their mom in the morning, and then they see dad go out and crush it. And I think that's, I think as entrepreneurs, anybody can taste success and look at a bank, you know, a bankroll. You know, what would Warren Buffett say? Say, you want to be a millionaire? Stay married.
Yeah.
You know, so it's pretty interesting to see that, because I still want to grind it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not just have a cheerleader instead of a, you know, ball buster?
Well said.
Yeah.
Now, you wrote a book about 4 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to change some things because you got married, had kids.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
quickly, in the life of the entrepreneur before, when you wrote that book, and in your life now, what are two major things that changed that you had to say, I got to kind of go back, rewrite that book to find out,
Yeah.
you know, what it is that's been different in my life?
That's great. Yeah, PTC, present time consciousness. Before, it was just about business and my wife. When I wrote that book, I was just 2 years married. I was still just the focus of being a world leader and a thought leader in my field,
Yeah.
you know, my field of chiropractic. Honestly, when I had kids and I saw my little baby girl, I thought we were having a boy. We had a mustache party. Everyone said we were having a boy. I had his like goal setting for the first 5 years. I was this close to buying him a go-kart. You know, so I was everything. And we had a home birth, and that little girl came out. I was like, and my wife's like panicking, like, what's wrong? And I said, we got an innie, not an outie. And she goes, you're a liar. And literally it changed everything for me. I wept. I saw love at a different level. And it innately made me go, I read a book called Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. And then
Read it, and I cried like a baby.
cried like a baby.
Yes.
So that book changed me. So what I realized was, here I am coming from a single perspective of what's important in life. Now when I read that book, I'm like, freaking how selfish.
Yeah.
So now my purpose is about, it just shifted through a different filter, and I realized that now I have purpose attached to that book. I have to go rewrite it. I mean, it's still the nuggets in there,
Yeah.
they're great. It's the perspective that changed due to maturity and due to what I value in life. My core values changed, so my book changed. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Now we can sit here for another hour and talk.
Are you sure?
Right? I'm positive. But I want to ask you one question,
Okay.
the last question. Who's been a leader in your life and why? Someone who's been extremely influential who's made you who you are and why you're sitting here today with the business that you have, the family that you have, and the morals and the ethics that you have?
Yeah. You know, we're a product of our fathers, teachers, preachers, you know, all that kind of stuff. But it really comes down to, I have a board of advisors that I've had since 2006. So I have 2 advisors in health, 2 advisors in spirituality, 2 advisors in business, 2 advisors in relationships. Now I have 2 advisors in parenting, and I call it my board of advisors, and a lot of big corporations have it. Why don't I have it for my personal corporation called Life? And so I literally put that together. I wrote them a letter, and I said, will you be on my board of advisors? Can I call you? I will promise not to abuse it. I'll call you once a month just to ask for advice in this specific area. I saw a lot of people that were epic in certain areas, but I didn't see a lot of people in all 12 categories deep.
Yeah.
And so I have 12 categories and 1 to 2 advisors per category. And I reach out to them on a basis. So they have shaped my core values of who I am. But it's, if you know, you come down to the base, it's probably my mom and dad.
Yeah.
You know, they're incredible people that I have a great foundation. From then, it's my board of advisors, which has changed over the years. So it wasn't one person that shaped me. It was, I would give it up to probably a handful, 10 people that I lean on. I have no shame when it calls asking for advice. I swallow all pride. I crush ego, and I ask for help and advice in every category.
That's incredible. Now I want to hit up on this real quick. I know that you wrote a goal-setting book called Mind Mastery.
Mm-hmm.
You got your Mind Mastery cards, right? And you use these things to essentially set for your life. And so those are important. So I'll link that to in the interview.
Awesome, man.
Thank you so much for being on Small Business Big Leaders.
Thank you for having me.
Inspiration, brother.
Awesome, man.
Appreciate
Thank you. It's awesome.
Thanks for watching Small Business Big Leaders. If you know a great business leader, go to smallbusinessbigleaders.com to nominate them for a show. Thanks.